Have you ever said, "What is wrong with me?" while you're staring at the ceiling? Or have you yelled in a mirror at yourself for not understanding what you've been feeling? Well, witches and wizards, you're not going crazy. And what if we told you you're not alone? So get in, lovers. We're getting real and remembering our way back home. Are you ready to make a genuine, intentional change? Welcome to the Magic is Messy podcast. Welcome, witches, wizards, sisters, misters, boys, girls, diamonds, pearls, freaks, geeks, and motherfucking peeps. Welcome back to the Magic is Messy podcast. My name is Kitty D, and across from me is Ace.
I feel like when I hear you say that, when I listen to the podcast and hear you say that, I feel like when you say Ace, it like cuts it off. End of story. Like, is there a more musical?
Oh, of course. Do you want to do more musical?
Yeah, let's do a musical.
How about I create a beat?
And all that jazz.
Yeah, she wants jazz hands, ladies and gentlemen.
Jazz.
So let's give her jazz hands and applause.
Yes.
Welcome to all of you.
It's so good to be here.
In listener land over the airwaves, babes. Nice to have you. Thanks for being here. We are grateful. We are honored that you are sharing this space with us today and always. Thanks for being a part of the Magic is Messy Collective.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you've noticed, the title of today's episode is one that just came to us, actually, because I personally, vulnerably, am learning to have much more flow and much more vulnerability in these episodes.
Yeah.
And having much more openness and willingness to speak about things that are potentially triggering or potentially can get on someone's nerves or can turn people away or what have you. Mm-hmm. All those things that you tell yourself. And what I'm really grateful for, Ace, is you, Boo, for opening more space for vulnerability and flow.
Wow.
So this is probably going to be the first, maybe the first episode that doesn't necessarily have a very solid structure as to point A to point Z.
Wow.
So we're going to LMNOP.
Okay. All over the place.
See what happens. Yeah. We've got about an hour. Because that's a structure that we have to stick with.
We do have to stick with the hour 15, hour and 30, hour 45.
We very much appreciate your time and that you're spending it with us, listeners, sisters, misters out there, boys, girls. And when we came up with this episode, What the fuck is wrong with me? Mm-hmm. And kind of the back end of being disconnected in a world that is meant to be connected or feeling disconnected in all ways, shapes, and forms. When we came up with this episode, it was from a space of feeling exactly like the intro said is, God, what
the fuck?
The fuck is wrong with me? Why am I feeling a need to get so many things done, but I'm just feeling burned out and I'm feeling disconnected and I'm feeling shallow, but I'm aching so deeply right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to process, and I just feel like the more... And what do I do about the whole? What do I do about the world around me and my community? What do I do? What the fuck?
But and also alongside of that is just I'm feeling all these things. There's disconnection in the world. There's sadness. There's brokenness. So let's get a face tattoo.
I have been grappling with bangs.
You have?
Kitty bangs again.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Do you know how many people are like, girl?
Okay, let me tell you something.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
So I'm a hairdresser here in the state of Minnesota, and I do hair, and I've been doing it for 26 years. And anytime somebody like you, who absolutely typically doesn't do bangs, comes in and says, I think I'm going to get bangs, I'm like, what did he do?
Have we really
what
thought
did,
about that?
What did he do?
Yeah.
And they're like,
who did this to you?
Who did this to you? I'm like, are you sure you want bangs? Like, it's a serious moment. Like, when it stops everything in the salon, where I'm just like, okay.
Does it record scratch the salon?
Well, it does. It's just like, it's like, yeah, everybody collective gas?
Yeah.
she wanted bangs. Like, are you okay?
Oh, you narrated that.
Blink once.
She wanted bangs. No, I get it. And that's I think a natural way of dealing with, reflecting,
100%.
I don't want to even numbing to, like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll change my hairstyle.
Yeah.
If, like, funny, not funny.
Yeah, like I'll be a different person now.
Yes. I need to step into a new identity because I don't know what the fuck is wrong with this one. And why I'm
Yes.
feeling this way.
Yes. So let's add bangs into this whole situation.
Let's do something that requires more maintenance of me. Settle
I'll
down,
look
kitten.
different.
Settle down, kitten. And what the fuck is wrong with me is the title of this episode, because I know myself and I know you, Ace. We grapple with those feelings of, why am I not as far as I think I should be, or why am I full of comparison and
or why am I here again?
Competition, and why does this keep on happening? Yes. And not the what the fuck is wrong with me in the sense of, trauma bonding or victimhood, or it's not a need to fix, because it's not broken.
Right.
It's just misalignment.
Yes, I love that.
And I need to remember that we are cyclic beings, but also creating that space in order to see the cycles. Because yes, we continually go through these cycles, whether you want to or not. Mm-hmm. Just like the moon goes through the cycles whether you want them to or not.
Yep.
And we as humans, human, cyclic beings are given the opportunity to realize our cycles and move through our cycles if we are willing to see and acknowledge our cycles. And I think the what is wrong with me is a push in order to get to that space of openness and willingness for awareness.
I love that. That whole beautiful thing you just said was just poetry.
I had no idea where it came from.
You were on a roll.
I was on a diggity download.
I like that.
No diggity. Download it up, download it up. All right. And where are you at in this current collective disconnection, we'll call it?
Like as it pertains to the podcast, or just in general?
In general. Start with general, and then we'll drill down. In your body, in your intuition, in your community, where do you feel disconnect and disengagement? In
every fucking place,
in your meanings
dude.
And purposes. And
you know what I realized?
Every place, dude.
Every fucking place. I was just the other day, I was given I was given a like, if you will, a little download or a little vision about, and to remember lockdown in COVID.
Oh, I remember
that.
And I want to forget.
I know.
Like,
I do too.
That's a feeling.
I do, but I don't, because something switched in the entire fucking planet.
1000%. What was it?
In March of 2020, etc. A range of emotions, all of these things that we went through, a collective experience that we went through as a humanity on the planet of Earth that we went through. And that is so powerful. Have we ever all been united in one experience since?
Not to my knowledge,
like
and
we have.
Now that you bring that up, I do remember that collective feeling of, we're all going through this together.
And of course there was fear, and there was shit, and there was blaming, and there was all the things that come with an entire world going through one fucking thing. And I remember it. I have so many feelings about it. Like, I have things like, wow, it was so nice to stay home for 10 weeks. As long as the rest of the world also stays home, so I don't miss anything.
So I don't feel like I'm not
missing out.
Yeah.
Like, this. So there was some safety, and this is what we're supposed to do, and that's the good thing, right? And I loved that. And then I was able to relax and enjoy, and my muscles all calmed down for 2 months, and it was just amazing. And then there's this moment of like, remember when we were locked in the house and we couldn't go anywhere? Like that flip side, and then remember how we treated each other. Remember how we had to wear masks. Remember how we got upset because people weren't wearing it. You know what I mean? Like, so there was all of these big emotions. And then I feel like, okay, we can go back to work. Back to work, friends.
Back to it.
Yeah, back to reality.
What? Yeah.
And then we were like, remember that? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
remember when it felt really good to stay home and live with the cycles of what I was feeling?
We never sat down
and really just got to breathe.
Yeah, we never sat down and
figured out what I really enjoy doing and what I want my hobbies to be.
And there were so many times where we could just go within and we could spend time with our family. But But then there was this moment of like, hey, that wasn't fair. We had to do that, kind of thing. And
Yeah, that's a hell of a push and pull.
it is. And like,
I feel like we're going through the same push and pull, but in a different way,
Yes.
same, but more intense.
oh, yeah.
A more intense push and pull.
Well, because the first push, like, I just feel like as a collective everything, and especially at press time here in Minnesota, going through all kinds of things that trigger lots of things. And I just think as a world, I just want to finish this thought, and that was the world we went through all of that, and then as a world we just like went, okay, that was good game, bye.
Good game.
Like,
Good game. Ass slap.
Yeah, ass slap. We ass slapped each other and went, good game. That was, remember that? But like, hold up. Like, what did that do to us? Now, I don't want this episode to be all like, what the fuck is wrong with you is you went through a pandemic. Not that. Okay, that's not what the answer
not
is.
what this
But
is.
that's good. Good game. Excellent episode. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
But what I'm talking about is like, that to me was like the first, like, do it again for me.
Remix.
That was the first major record scratch, I think, of my existence, where it really was a mind fuck. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be on this side of it. I'm grateful to have gone
Have
through
we
that.
collectively grieved that mind?
No!
You know what I'm saying?
I think we are. I think that's
Is that what this is?
I think that's what our cities are on fire and like stuff. And I think that we all came out of that different people, whether it be better, worse, good, bad,
More connected, disconnected.
Yeah, yes. And I think that it's really, we are all looking around going, oh, why do I feel this way? Well, again, I think we went through a huge collective thing, and it caused us all to come out different. And so now we're learning to get along in this world where we're all different than we were before. All of us, not just a couple of us, all of us.
Something just came up to me as well. I remember during that time, I was able to really stand strong in boundaries more than I ever had before.
Wow.
Right? Like saying no to going places or
Yes.
really just utilizing my energy for myself and being given that opportunity to utilize my energy.
That's
and
actually
then,
beautiful.
And then you get back to a space where energy is being taken from you all the time and being expected to have this, potentially in the glass half full optimism perspective, like this opportunity to have a tower moment of knocking it all down and realizing where you want to rebuild.
Yes.
And what that restructuring looks like. And then you show up and you're meant to show up as this different person in a world that was meant to just steal that energy
Yes.
right back. And then, and you have to feel as though you are still getting things done. And, that burnout is not failure. Burnout is like a badge of honor type of like this oddly constructed container that is meant to make you feel numb and disconnected.
In a time when we just went through a whole fucking thing, and we all probably should be getting therapy, we're all trying to go, these are the carefully constructed belief structures that we created in the 10 weeks we were locked up. I say 10 weeks because as a hairdresser, I was locked down for 10 weeks, and I consider that my bench time, as it were.
Bench time.
Because I was
Coach,
not around
put me in,
people. I mean,
coach.
yeah. So here we went through this whole thing, and we created this like loosely, like a fried egg kind of delicate, belief structure of like, this is what I think about all of this. And then you step in the world and people come in with their
And immediately you go back
Yes.
to because it's what's
in the world that we just created, which is weird. And what is even happening? And we're trying to like,
are we trying to resist against it because we know what that feels
Yes.
like now as the pandemic, as we went through that? Are we trying to get back to that feeling of knowing more direction and having more control and having stronger boundaries? And it's even worse than before the pandemic started.
'Cause we
where
are
now
all
it's like
different.
people are losing control.
Yes.
I have no idea. This is just something I'm thinking of,
Same.
but holy moly. Goddess, what?
We sat down today to talk about what the fuck is wrong with me, and now we're talking about the pandemic, and I did not expect this.
No, we didn't.
I did not.
Good game by episode, right?
And at the same time, I mean,
But we are collectively disconnected.
yeah, we are.
And
We're not meant to be disconnected from our
because
people.
our world is even more distorted. And we're trying to make sense of this distorted world that just spirals. It's like this never-ending spiral. At least that's what I feel. And if I'm being extremely vulnerable, I feel like I'm
100%.
in this spiral that I just can't stop. And I don't know how to help it. I don't know how to be present to it. I don't know how to step away from it. I don't even know what to do. So I just freeze and let the spiral just swallow. When I'm trying to be sovereign in this spiral and stand a stronger ground, and I'm not sure what ground to even reach out for or how to be present for a community that I want to love and be present for.
Fuck.
And I just feel stuck.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like is the root cause of what is wrong with me. Why can't I move? Or why can't I? Well, yeah,
it feels like a big game. It feels like a big game of double dutch, doesn't it?
Oh,
where you're like,
tell me more.
Where you're like, okay, this I'm gonna. Oh God. Oh, wait, I guess not. Okay, wait, hold on a second. Okay, I'm not jumping. You know, I was like,
not even in the double dutch. You're saying
no. I'm literally
aggressively
you know how you
trying to
stand
get
on
into
the side and you kind of do.
You're seeing the rhythm of the double dutch.
Yeah, and then you're like, I'm gonna. Okay, in 5 minutes, I'm gonna jump into that part. That
in
right
5
part.
minutes.
And meanwhile, the girls on the side are like, just jump in already, like you know.
But it's gonna hit me.
Yeah, I might get tangled.
I'm gonna ruin it. I can't say that I've ever done double dutch. I remember watching double dutch and wanting to be a double dutch artist, if you would call it that.
Double dutch workshop. We're doing it
right. Double dutch workshop. Double D workshop.
Double D.
Anyway, back to it. Trying to jump into a double dutch rhythm when that rhythm is distorted, or you can't hear it correctly, or you're seeing it from a different perspective,
or the
you have
ropes are covered
beliefs,
in razor blades,
and the new
yes.
beliefs are over here, and you're simmering in this middle, like, which way do I go? Do I go back to what I know, or do I go forward to grow? Yeah. Right? Like where are you simmering in this? And we're all simmering in this. And I think the thought of reaching out and grabbing someone's hand and being vulnerable in this world of distortion and social media and keyboard warrior judgment style, afraid of acknowledgement and afraid to be seen for who you truly are. So you put on masks and put on this character of something or other. In that world, we're afraid to reach out and just say, God,
do you know why
I need something.
We're afraid because because doing that, reaching out in vulnerability right now is an act of war.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you think about it, if you reach out and say, this is how I feel disconnected, I feel hurt, I feel sad about X, Y, and Z, I feel alone, I feel all of these things, people would be like, well, you shouldn't feel that way, or you have to do this, or you do this.
Buck up.
Don't.
It's
show
not that
me,
bad.
Yes, don't tell me about disconnection, because that will reveal my own disconnection.
Don't trigger me with disconnection.
That's right.
Woo.
That's right.
Speaking of triggers, I do want to say that there was someone sent me a message
on our last
episode that mentioned something about, the intro turned them off. And I will absolutely say in truth that triggered me. Mm-hmm. To be like, why don't they like me? Why don't they like what I put forward in the world? Was I being too vulnerable? Was I being too real? Was I being separative with my words? Was I calling someone out? Was I making someone feel uncomfortable? Was I doing something wrong?
Right.
And immediately I started to trigger. And then as you continue going through the message, it said something like, I try not to judge on first impression, so I gave it a shot. And I stayed in the room when I wasn't immediately happy with what you were talking about.
Yeah.
And like you were saying this morning, I already showed you this and shared this with you. You were like, we got them to stay in the room and they actually really enjoyed it, and they said that they'd be listening.
That's amazing. That's the win.
So you're doing something right, because you're calling in the people that really enjoy and are willing to listen and educate and grow and be present to,
and are being
what
called
you're saying
to that.
And called to what you're saying and magnetized to whatever messaging we're moving forward in an aligned belief structure that breaks the constraints of the belief structure we're currently stuck and simmering in.
Yes, I love that. So thank you to this person if you're listening.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for that piece of feedback, because that's what it is how do we step into this messy piece of disconnection with each other when we're all feeling like wild fucking animals, feral creatures in the wake of all of the stuff that's happening in the world. And how do we step in and care for one another when we are all feeling feral and wounded, and we all run around with arrows in our backs, wondering, because that's the reality, right? When we trigger somebody, it's like, if we live our whole lives on this planet, and if you will, you'll notice this, that you will walk around with a collection of arrows in your back. Like, some of it was from your family, some of it was from your job, some of it was from your last relationship you were in, or whatever. You'll have, and unless we pull the arrows out, and sometimes we don't even notice that they're back there, or we don't notice that, or it's like, oh, that one's overgrown, I'm not going to try to pull that one out, it hurts too much, right? but if you can work on quietly and quickly dislodging those arrows, then we find ourselves in closer to sovereignty, I would say. And in this case, we have arrows in our back, or you had arrows in your back about, I don't want to do things that people don't like or whatever. And
I don't want to trigger people.
I don't want to trigger people. And so in essence,
where did that come from?
When she mentioned, this person in the comment mentioned, I was triggered by the intro, that brush, she inadvertently brushed by one of the arrows in your back. And was like, ow, 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 why does that hurt? Why does that hurt? And then you go back and you go, okay, what is this arrow about? And that, I think, is right now, we're all have arrows, so many arrows in our whole body right now. And then we accidentally touch them because we're trying to walk around with all these arrows in like a weird disjointed way. Don't you think?
Yeah.
And then like we're trying to walk around and we're all walking weird because we have weird fucking arrows like in our glutes and on the back of our hamstring. We got weird arrows, right? And then somebody accidentally like, oh, excuse me, and they brush your arrows and you're like, dude, the fuck? You know what I mean? And they're like, I'm so sorry. I literally was just walking weird also.
And then you spiral and you're like, but I think that's the thing about what jumping timelines is to me. It's that you see a new way of reacting when triggered. Yes. And you step into that identity and that understanding and that belief structure instead of going back towards the spiral down into, well, what the fuck is wrong with me? Why is she rejecting me? What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
And going back to that abandonment.
Yeah.
And instead seeing it for what it can be, how you can grow from it, and not falling down into the trigger spiral, and instead taking a big deep breather and just kind of zooming out, and then looking at it and being like, and great.
Well, and this is the thing that's
what now? How can I keep doing what I'm doing to get to the person I want to be, rather than where I've been before?
And this interaction with this person with the comment and us and all that. This was a contract this was a thing we all stepped into willingly, right? And this person practiced their own vulnerability and courage by saying, this is what I felt initially. This is how I changed the script and I stayed and I'm so glad I did.
And I'm grateful for that.
So this little tiny interaction right here actually just healed all three of us, if you think about it. And that's so beautiful. So stepping into that vulnerability piece is ugly and scary and definitely not what I want to do on a Monday morning.
Right.
Yeah. And yet
ugly and scary and so worth it.
Oh, so worth it
to talk about it, to bring it up, and to really say thank you to the person that decided to speak their heart and say, hey, this kind of turned me off a little bit, and I decided to keep going. Because the subject matter was about covens and sisterhoods and being in a collective of aligned energies.
Yep.
And maybe that was triggering because they don't want to practice in a collective, or thinking about connecting into a community and being vulnerable and having those wounds open for everyone to see and be a part of, maybe triggers them as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where that came from, and I'm grateful that maybe they also had an opportunity to reflect and look back at, why am I even being triggered?
Yeah, we're all just accidentally, inadvertently brushing each other's arrows. Like, hey man, you have some arrows here. And I almost feel like if you go back and we talk about, I know we've already gone through the coven thing, but as we continue talking about covens and stuff, in essence, that's what we're doing. We're asking to step into, we're getting into a group with 12 other people who we're going to say, like, okay, so I come here to my arrows. They're all up in my back. Check that out. Look at that beautiful sit mess back there. And like, I'm going to invite you guys to just help me be aware of the arrows that I have back there and hold me while I bleed.
And not only that, you've got multiple energies. One of them can be patching up your little wound and helping in some healing Reiki or healing high vibration, whatever, sending boomerangs out for that type of healing. Well, with the other ones, you're actually examining the arrow to see, how deep did it go? Where did it come from? Who's got its signature on it that you can toss out?
Hell yeah.
That kind of an idea.
Hell yeah.
And then you have the container where all of you are safe to do that. Like, think about that process.
Jesus.
That's what a coven can become.
That is
become.
That is exactly what I want. I'll be honest.
Loving is what I want.
I love that.
So remember that. And that's what I think this episode really, what I wanted it to come to the point of. And I know we've only been doing this for almost even half an hour, but remembering that you are very powerful, that the surface level, what is wrong with me, when you dig deep, deeper into it, what is wrong with me is that we're not being given a space to stretch our power. Right? Like you're not giving us a solid space to stand, and you're not giving yourself a space to speak into your sovereign self, and it's not about just you and me. Right. You or I, or you and me. It's about what we can do as the power of we.
That's right.
And to funny, not funny, bring it back to the pandemic, there was this underlying power of we in there somewhere. Yeah, that maybe we tapped into for just a little bit. Yet we were also being told to be completely separate, completely independent. So it's like we got this feeling of being unified. Yeah. And I think what we're missing is unity. Yeah. In some way, shape, or form. Whatever you want to be unified to, whatever you want to stand strong to, I think disconnection really comes from feeling disconnected to something that unifies you as a whole. Because we all just want to belong and become. Yeah. Or at least take what you need, the rest you can leave. I just feel like the belonging adds to the becoming. And you can't do that without a group of people that are working in the same way and whoa, 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 giving off those boom, chicka, boom, chakalaka, boomerangs.
Yeah. Wow. That's some deep shit.
See, I've never done this before.
Wow.
Usually I have so much structure. Like, what is the correspondence? And what are the colors? And what are the flowers? And I love all that. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm still going to keep doing my moon episodes. Yeah. And it feels really good to just speak some spells into the existence
and just go stream of consciousness.
Yeah, just to really download.
I love that.
Get down on it.
Get down on it.
What you gonna do? Do you want to get down? Okay. Let's go back to, I've got notes. I always have notes.
I love your notes because it does help keep things going.
It does help keep
I literally things, after you said that very powerful thing, I literally just kind of wanted to lay down and take a nap.
Do you?
So that, well, yeah, because of what you said, like resonated all the things.
I don't know if I've ever done it that well.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was right in the nasal cavity.
That was so perfect.
Hey, I feel good. Okay, so
jump back, won't kiss myself.
Let's get back into what's wrong with me.
What the fuck is wrong with me?
I just keep singing my way through life. What is wrong with me? All right, kitten. So when I think what is wrong with me, it's I think when it pertains to witching and magic and making it messy, I think this is probably the messiest episode that I've ever done, and I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, yeah. I feel like the Ace Ventura when he's like, yeah, good.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Hip thrusting.
That is exactly what I'm doing. In my chair, I'm hip thrusting like Ace Ventura. You get me. You get me. What I feel like we have forgotten, and this is what I'm seeing from the outside in, and I'm calling back the Coven because that is where I have seen change happen. That's where I get to create a container. Is that women, witches, misters, sisters, brothers, everybody has forgotten their cyclic nature, has forgotten to honor what rest can do, has forgotten how to trust their inner knowing and really get connected to their intuition. They've forgotten or not given themselves time to grieve properly. Just when you think of grief, like there's a lot of stuff going around on the IGs and the TikTok and the FBs and all that about grieving and giving yourself space to grieve. And you already called it up. Like, did we even collectively grieve what we lost and or created or whatever in what 2020 was?
Yeah.
So they've forgotten how to grieve, and they've also forgotten potentially how to celebrate as a collective.
Yeah.
Like, what are we celebrating? We're seeing what we're fucking not celebrating.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We can see the division.
And if you're celebrating, you might not be in the wrong podcast to read.
I was gonna say in this first month.
These might not be the words for thee.
I was gonna say, if you're here in January of 2026 and you live in Minnesota, just like check yourself. What are you here for?
Yeah.
You know.
And also finding things to celebrate.
Yeah.
Collectively.
Yeah.
Together.
Yes.
So I think we've just forgotten, and this is all take what you need, the rest you can leave, y'all. This is all a game of remembering. And the more you remember, the more you live, the more you grow, the more you see, the more you sow, the more seeds come to these chickadees. The more you're willing to remember what the arrows are all about.
And those bitches will fall right out of your back.
Yeah, especially when you're in a safe space to even look at what the arrows are, to allow yourself to bleed a little bit, to watch it, heal. Scab over and heal and become shiny and new. Like a virgin. Hey. Ooh. I've been practicing.
Woohoo, that's beautiful.
I'm in super singy mode today.
Okay, you are.
Appreciate
And you know what I just realized is that every time I jump in on your singing, which I'm so excited to be part of it, I realize that your vocal tenor is higher than mine. It doesn't matter. And anyway, but I just always realize I feel like I
didn't used to be.
No, I know, but it's good.
I'm actually like a lower speaker.
I know you do, and so do I. So then, yeah. Anyway.
Okay. So we're setting cycles. We're honoring rest. We're honoring each other. We're honoring collective. We're honoring unity. We're honoring moving forward and celebrating small things that eventually become big things.
Yes.
Right. Remembering we are all living in a world that rewards conformity and rewards numbness and rewards disconnection and rewards scroll holing and
I don't even know if it rewards
confusion.
Rewards, and also maybe, depending on where you fall on this spectrum, possibly even instigates and designs. Maybe there's a little bit of the nut under the cup game, or the
cups game.
Yeah, or the Cheerio under the. It's like when you go to there's somebody on the table and they have 3 cups and there's like one little tiny small nut or Cheerio or some shit underneath one of them, and then it's like where's the nut? Where's the Cheerio? Kind of.
Richard actually uses that all the time.
Does he?
He's like, "Are you playing cups with me right now?" When we're in the morning, I'll be like, "You know what? I think we're having tacos," and then I'll talk about dinner, and I'm like, "Yeah, we're having chicken." And he's like, "Are we playing cups right now? Where'd the tacos go?" And it makes me laugh because yes, absolutely. Are we collectively playing a game of cups?
Yeah. Is that what it's called?
Oh, look over here.
Yep.
Look over here.
Look over here. Yep. Maybe a little bit.
Don't look behind the curtain. Don't look at the man behind the curtain.
That's right. It's all the Wizard of Oz.
And I think if we unite, I don't want to say I want us to unite in struggle. That doesn't sound right. I want us to unite in sovereignty.
I would agree.
I
wanted to say that too, because I think because we're all so much trying to look around for places to belong and places to resonate and places to do something, because we feel powerless and hopeless and all the arrows are being touched in our backs and what have you. So then we find other people like, oh, you have the same amount of arrows as me in the same exact places. Let's go out and burn down that whole building or something. You know what I mean? And that's a little close to home here in Minnesota, but
too soon.
But sorry. But ultimately that's, I think, what a lot of people are doing. So people are let me hold on. I'm getting it. People are uniting in what they don't want. Mm-hmm. People are not uniting in what they want. They're uniting in what they stand against.
Yes.
And that creates so much, that's the best word I can come up with.
Sure.
And I think sometimes
so much resistance, so much uncoordinated.
And
grind.
And it's like, and while I think that's very important, but when that is the entire plan, that's a scary room to walk into.
I got you.
And whereas if we can unite in what we love and what we don't allow, but rather what we allow, that it's a different perspective on the same plan. Does that make sense?
Yes. And what I'm hearing you say is like a reframe.
Yeah.
Reframe, freeze frame.
Freeze.
Woo! The reframe of it is what I feel like you're stepping into somehow.
Yep.
Right? When I say reframe, where does that come to? Like, instead of asking this question as to what are we against, which I'm all about.
Agreed.
The peaceful protest. I'm all about being against something that is
that is wrong.
That is fucking wrong.
And scary and all the things. And how do we say what exists in our realm at this moment does not align with our peaceful ways of being or our unity ultimately? We want unity, and people are trying to find unity as best as they can. How can we unite in this process in a way that feels like forward motion and love, as opposed to
universal love, care, and curiosity for what could be?
Yes. That's harder, isn't it? That's harder because that means you have to look at your arrows. That means you have to be vulnerable and go, what is this really about? Is it about this thing that happened on the street? Is it about this thing that's happening in government? Is it this thing that happened in 2020? What is it? Well, we can go, well, it's the pandemic. What the fuck is wrong with me? Well, you went through a pandemic. End of episode. You know what I mean? But in reality, no, that's not what happened. I mean, yes, it is. Collectively, we united, went
and
through
what's
this
deeper?
thing. What is it really? What really is this bringing up in you? Abandonment, fear of missing out, money, things. I don't like my family very much, and now I have to live with them all the time. I hate this house.
And
all of the
to
things.
call that back to, I love what you just said, because we were given opportunities to really see things for what they were.
Yeah, we didn't want to do that.
Not only did we realize, oh, my job really doesn't fit me, or I really don't enjoy doing what I have been doing, or like you said, hanging out with this person doesn't really fill my cup like I thought it could.
Or this
or
house
would.
is a lot smaller than I thought it was.
That was a collective thing, because we moved in 2020.
I know.
Yeah, absolutely,
everybody.
yeah. Oh my
we got a
goodness.
fucking dog, man. We're like, you know what? This house
Somebody
needs
did
more
something.
chaos and dog hair. That's what we need.
And were we given that opportunity to really figure out what it was that was calling us intuitively?
Yeah.
And now we are just back into an even more distorted version of needing to go back to the conformity of being in the job you don't like because things are different.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why us stepping out of the year of the snake, which is all about shedding and letting go of old shit, and we're stepping into the year of the horse. Not just the horse that's on fire.
The fire horse.
Okay, so did anybody have fire horse on their bingo card for 2026? I didn't.
Let's go.
I know there is a year of the horse, but when they were like, just kidding, it's the year of the fire horse. I was like, what reality are we in right now?
All right.
So we shed what we don't use, and we're being asked to step forward in passion and purpose and power, right? And how do we get from shedding to that? Well, it's unity. And how do we get to unity? We have to dig in the shadows and be like, what the fuck is even in this closet right now? How do I clean this out so that I can step forward in unity and come in with that sovereign place? So I think that is what is being asked of us in the year of the flaming horse is how do we step forward in passion and purpose, but like on another level, like times 100.
Oh, all right.
No?
I dig it. I like that reframe. So I'm going back to the reframe portion where we're talking about like, yes, what do we stand against? But at the same time, what are we responding to right now? Yeah. And even deeper, more deeply going, with more meat to the bone. Why am I responding to it this way? And how can I respond to it in a different way that is more helpful?
Yes. Because that's what we're feeling. We're feeling we're feeling the, and again, I can't, dissonance.
The white noise dissonance, the white noise.
We're feeling that, and we're like, what is that? What is happening? Why am I feeling this? Just like I went to the store, man. Why am I, as I'm walking out of the store, like nothing happened. And it's like, but something did. And that's what I think, as we can allow those old skin layers to shed and fall away, we're all gooey and new. And how do we step forward in this gooey, new, vulnerable place, right?
And I think when you do, when you do shadow work, when you do pathworking opportunities or active imaginations, or when you meditate, when you spend that time doing intentional subconscious work, I heard it too.
Yeah.
Ooh, hello, spirits.
Sorry, as you were talking, something weird happened in my kitchen, and I have a sense of spirits around it for anybody who believes or doesn't believe. But anyway, I have a sense of spirits, and I have somebody just went, as you were saying shadow work, something in the kitchen just went, yep, keep talking about that.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Anyway.
So and
thank
yes,
you, Spirit.
All right, thank you. More, please. The shadow work that we all do. Any intentional subconscious rewiring, synapsing, any tickling, anything that you're doing with the intention of unlocking and rewiring your subconscious really makes a huge difference. And in the process of doing that, the getting vulnerable, like I think we were given an opportunity to start doing that kind of stuff during the pandemic when we had the actual time to breathe and simmer and let our nervous systems just get back to a space of neutrality.
That was the new moon. That was the new moon asking, yes? Or what moon phase would that have been?
I'm not sure. We can look back.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't mean like when was the moon phase? I just thought like
what
would that
phase
represent?
would that fit into? Yeah, definitely like a
new moon.
Maybe like a balsamic healing.
Okay.
Like right before while the basket is you can't see the moon at all. That last little moment, like that to me was the time we were in that cocoon pandemic.
Yes.
When we were in our homes and separated, yet being asked to connect in a whole myriad of ways, which now we move forward in those connections on Zoom, those connections on, remote working. Those are things that
Social
are
media.
still sticking around and even causing more disconnect.
Yes.
Which is difficult because when we do come into a coven, yes, having the person to person, we are connecting with the intention of connecting over those same networks.
Yeah.
So I digress.
No, this is it.
You're
right on.
When we are moving forward into a community collective, we're seeing these shadows and coming together now in this distorted world as a brand new version of ourselves that still has kind of, when you're in between TV channels, and you can kind of see it and then it kind of away, just like you said, we're kind of, I feel, take what you need, the rest you can leave, is simmering in that moment of, the movie The Ring, when she's coming out of the TV,
my God,
and she
no,
goes
I don't
from
want to
here
think
and
about
then
it.
immediately to there. You know what I'm saying,
Yes.
though? You're trying to do that jump into this person that's this new identity, and I call it an identity because you've done the work and you've worked through some of the shadows and you've seen the patterns, which creates awareness, which then creates a new action or a choice of action, which then creates a reaction and it creates a new reality.
Yeah.
So that's, I feel like, where we are stuck because we're all trying to see what is the new reality I want even looking like, because we're so broken and looking at what reality we're seeing right now. And I don't want to say broken per se, because nothing is broken, but I feel like there's so much judgment rather than observation. And the observing and the coming from a place of questioning and curiosity of how am I responding to this, or how can I even respond to it, is the first thing, because that's where I come from. Is I'm stuck. Like, how do I even respond to this? In this podcast right here, these words are spells. That's why they call it spelling. This is how I can respond. By creating spaces and creating communities and creating safety and creating stability and creating a movement of a certain message moving forward that can resonate with people that are looking for something to hold on to.
Holy shit.
I don't know where that came from.
Girl, like she just exploded in rainbows in front of me. Are you okay? Do you need a break? Do you need some water?
Chickadee, more please. Thank you, Prince.
Okay, but I love this. This is like, the whole room just went on fire. Is it warm in here? I think I'm warm. Is everybody okay? Are you okay? I'm hot flash. Sorry. That made all the organs in my body like pay attention one time.
Thank you. I felt that. Thank you. And I hope that resonates and magnetizes the people and the sisters, misters, witches, wizards that are looking for something to grab onto.
Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, you swim
that's the
very
power
well
of
in stream of
Thank
consciousness.
you. Thank you.
This is my Taurus girl who's
I'm swimming.
I know you are swimming.
Just keep swimming.
No water wings needed.
Oh.
You're just swimming.
Thank you
in
for
the
letting
flow.
me swim. Thank you. I appreciate that so much.
The Cancer moon came out right there.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. That was a state of being, and that I think was me remembering what I love to do.
Well, it's interesting because as we step forward, we created this umbrella of question, right? Like this, what the fuck is wrong with me? Which made me laugh because how often do you ask yourself that on a daily basis?
In some way, shape, or form, in a guilt or shame spiral, yes, I would say.
Yes. And at the
why
same
can't I do
time,
this right? Or why am I not that far?
Or when you look at your own bloody fist and the person laying down on the floor in front of you, you're like, what the fuck is wrong with me? You know what I mean? Like, we find ourselves in these positions, right? But like, I remember when we sat down, we're like, what are we even going to talk about today? And then like, we turn on the airwaves.
Yeah.
And we just open them up. And then
this is my first allowance of airwave.
I love that.
Without moving the words and molding the words. Like I was telling you earlier, when I first started this podcast in 2019, I used to fine-tooth comb, ridiculously, obsessively comb through and edit my episodes because I was afraid to say something that would turn someone off, that would make them not like me, they would reject me or not listening to me again, that they would send me bad vibes or boomerangs, that they would it was so overpowering.
Oh, no wonder.
And I would probably say after the hiatus and after it has absolutely felt, when I do my moon episodes, it doesn't feel, it feels good and it doesn't yet feel right
enough.
Because I know that I've already said these this information and it can be found anywhere. What I really want to share is that vulnerability of what the moon can actually do for you when you re-plug into your human being and be a cyclic, powerful fucking human.
I love that. And I also love how I'm doing this thing or I'm doing that thing. And what the fuck is happening in the sky? Oh, that's why. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I find myself in these places.
Or that's something I can hold on to.
Yes.
That I can work with, that I can see myself, and that I can keep gaining awareness and keep doing something that feels like I'm connecting to myself and connecting to a whole, thriving, beautiful thing that is breathing on its own, that is doing something good in the world.
Yes. Holy shit. And with that comes all the things. Like when you are stepping forward in a shimmering moment, there's going to be people that are like, it's so bright. And then they're going to be like, I'm going to leave this place because I don't have the right sunglasses on. And you know what I mean? And so that, I think that's the piece of like, when you find yourself in a situation where you're trying to, create that flow and that shimmering and stepping forward in truth and vulnerability, there's going to be some people that are like, I don't know about this vulnerability stuff. And like,
absolutely.
I'm going to go back here for a minute. I'm not quite ready. They're on the outside of the double Dutch, just kind of hanging, trying to figure it out.
What I've been doing when I think about it in this podcast, this is the first time that I've allowed myself and given myself and my words permission to just flow. And be in that vulnerable space of, you don't have to structure this episode to make it look like a pretty package that people will want to just eat up. Right? They'll eat it. They'll eat it up no matter what.
That's right.
Because it tastes good to who they are.
That's right.
And I do remember, as I'm creating this episode and as I'm allowing myself to be more vulnerable in these spaces, it is so scary.
Yeah.
And worth feeling more connected to, even just you and I being more vulnerable together.
Yeah.
I think that really resonates and can resonate in so many other ways for so many other people.
And how does that feel like in your body right now to like have gone through the download moment and like created the vulnerability? Like how did that feel in your body to like open up? Allow. I just kind of made up my mind. And I asked for help, don't get me wrong. I decided to work with a new deity, and it's going really well. And I just allowed myself and started speaking to, like, all those spirits that you said were flying in here. I started actually speaking to them. You did?
Yeah, and I speak to them in my brain, and for the first time, I just started speaking to them, singing to them, reframing the language and the words and the questions that I'm asking them and of them. Mm-hmm. And giving myself just an openness and awareness to be a channel rather than stack the blocks in whatever structure I thought looked pretty at the time. Yeah. And hope that other people would see that pretty.
Yes.
And not allowing the unpretty. Damn unpretty. You can buy hair if it won't grow. You can fix your nose if it says so. Yeah. TLC.
Oh, is it TLC? Oh, shit.
Oh, it's all right. Shoot,
right. Baby. Okay, but let me ask you really quick. How does it feel in your body, though, to have done that? I
still feel heavy. I do feel heavy. I feel heavy because of, I think, I know I feel heavy because of what's going on around.
Yes.
But I also feel, and this is such a weird, that's why I said when you get stuck in the spiral of what's going on around you and the need to plug into the numbing machine.
Yep.
When I do plug into myself, I feel like there's this explosion, like this power explosion.
Yes.
That is just waiting to be like, okay, when's the right time? Is it the right time?
Yeah.
Can I go yet?
Yeah, double Dutch.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, 1,000%. I'm watching the, and I'm dancing to the rhythm,
you're
right?
Doing the thing with your hands.
And I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna fucking kill this. When I get in there, I'm gonna kill this. Yeah, I'm on do it.
The sidewalk will be destroyed when I'm done.
I'm gonna yeah. And I'm just grooving on the sideline.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm so ready to double Dutch the shit out of them jump ropes. And really,
did you hear it again?
No, yeah, knock.
There's like a spirit hanging out in my kitchen that every time she says something, it goes,
feel
amen, amen.
But I'll tell you what, it
I know. Because you're gonna get a rope to the face, dude. Like you're gonna get a rope to the face at some point.
Right? Because guess what? I didn't wake up one morning knowing how to double dutch.
That's right.
I've just been watching other people double dutch, being like, I can do that. I can do that. And that's what Instagram is to me: is watching other people do double dutch and being like, okay, I got this. I got this. I got this. And then you keep moving back. You keep moving back into the crowd.
I'm gonna go watch a makeup influencer real quick. Right? Hold on, I got it.
I'm gonna go draw my coloring pages. Okay. And I'm not saying coloring's bad. Not saying that. And I just keep watching the double dutch, being ready to play the double dutch. And I feel like there was a lot of work that needed to be done before I know I'm ready to move on a double dutch.
That's right.
And I'm feeling that energy pulse out, and I'm feeling that energy pulse forward. And that comes from being willing to be vulnerable and being willing to trigger people and being willing to say the thing that I thought was going to turn people off from me. I don't like turning people off.
Yeah.
I want them to be engaged and happy and excited and fun.
It's the healer. It's the healer in you.
And you don't get there without getting the messy, the dirty. I mean, my subconscious knew naming it magic is messy would eventually get me to this place.
Yep.
Because what I was doing before, although I love it and I still go back to it, and I'm so proud of those versions of that podcaster, performer person that is shining out of me, I also am really grateful for the opportunity and the space to be this vulnerable version and real, more authentic version without a package. And instead, it's more of a structured flow with purpose.
I love that. Holy shit, dude.
It feels good.
Oh, look at her. She's free. She's glowing. Glowing.
I love it. Thank you so much for the space to say all of this.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for being willing to play, dude. Like,
and this is the call. This is the call. This is it. Like, if anyone's like, man, vulnerability sounds hard AF. And it's going to be easier and more enjoyable and potentially more effective. And Sansa's fine. She's fine. Is she paying attention to spirits over there?
No, there's some. So, just a little side. You might have to. We have a FedEx guy that's going to come and pick up a very large package.
Got you.
On the ice skating rink that's our front walk.
Yeah, don't want him to fall in his dupe.
Well, and I just it's a whole thing. But anyway, the dog likes to bark, and so anyway.
Got you.
Yeah.
If you're feeling called and magnetized to the words that we're saying, the things that we're getting real with, like I said in the intro, get in, lovers.
Let's do this.
We're getting real.
Yeah.
We're getting real.
And ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to say...
home is a place that... Go ahead.
That vulnerability moment, that process that you'll go through, that we can choose to go through during this. You just did it in real time. You just went through that vulnerability.
I'm still in it.
Yeah.
We always will be.
Yeah.
And I think I've been more open to it now than I ever have in my life. And saying yes to the universe was really difficult. And very rewarding.
Yeah.
Very
rewarding. It's not without trouble. It's not without fear. It's not without
trouble, trigger.
It's not without bleeding. It's not without
fear and
any
frustration.
But the other side of it, it just feels like, let the sun shine.
Oh, yeah.
Sunshine.
I'm walking on
there you
sunshine.
Go. I want to get up and do a...
And don't it feel good? Yay! Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, good one.
We should do this at the jam.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
All right, where are we? We are almost at an hour.
Okay.
And we have just stream of consciousness.
Do we have any final thoughts?
We've talked about the reframing, right? Looking at things as, how am I responding to this right now? Instead of what is wrong with me, start with, how am I responding to this? Why am I responding to it that way? Mm-hmm. And how can I respond to it in a different way that maybe in this moment feels better, or feels better for the person I'm trying to step into, that I'm growing into, that I can see in front of me.
Yeah.
So that really talking about resonance and responding to resonance. What is resonating?
Yep.
And as much as I know our human brains and the media and things want to say, to unify us on hate and unify us on struggle and unify us on
negativity.
Yeah, all of the
fear.
things. Yeah. If we are unified in those ways, those boomerangs grow. So how can we be unified in belief structures and systems and containers that are not constrained in these ways, and instead are looking into the more cyclic nature, the more
the goodness of us,
the things that resound in our heart space, because we're good people and we care for humanity.
Yes. And I believe most everyone is in ultimately that. But then when we are spun up with fear, right? There's fear leads to hate leads to the dark side. We all know that.
And there's dark and light everywhere. That is science, that's energy, that's how frequencies and magnetism and vibrations, and we can go into that as well. And when you are paying more attention to dark frequencies and giving them your energy, and I know this is difficult because that's what we're seeing right now. And there are ways to give the energy in different ways that are much more constructive and effective and unifying,
sovereign.
Unifying,
Yep.
And creative and real,
but we have
and
to,
vulnerable.
But we have to part the curtain of what hangs in front of the truth of that.
Yeah.
And sometimes that hurts.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have to learn how to double dutch real quick so that we can get in there. And we're going to take
or at least attempt to double dutch.
Yeah, well, I would say
these are our attempts to double dutch. I didn't wake up today and being like, all right, double dutch it is, and then all of a sudden you are just jamming on the track. Yeah. You get hit, and you're going to take hits.
You'll take
absolutely,
a rope to the face 100%. At some point.
Yeah, you might trip over yourself. The other people are going to get mad at you and be like, "Oh, you got my rhythm," and get back into it. Try it again. Dust yourself off and try again.
That's
try
right.
again. Rest in peace, Aaliyah. And when we are looking for this space, I really, at the end of this episode, very strongly would love to ask people if they are curious about covens or a coven of this type of an energy. Yeah. We have a workshop, a 2-part workshop, starts February 18th and February 25th. They're both Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we can come together in this space, come together as a unified collective and see what it feels like to move forward as a unified collective and work on these arrows, seeing them, healing them, being aware of them, how we've been performing from the wound that they have created. If there's any visual I want you to take from it, that a coven and what we're creating in the collective, in this Magic is Messy movement and message, is a space to get the arrows out of your back, be aware of them, move forward from them in a safe space where people are also looking at their arrows. And when you have all of these arrows taken from everyone's back, now you have a full, what do they call it, a skin? Yeah. The thing that holds the arrows, I forget what they call it.
Oh,
but you have a whole arrow full of, a whole pack full of everyone's arrows that now you can fight with compassion and fight with purpose and intention, and you can fight with what you've learned with those arrows. Does that connect?
It does.
I love that visual.
I fucking love it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So magicismessy.com or oneyearwitch.com if you're interested in joining a movement, because this is what I can do to step out of the spiral, and this is what I can do to respond to what I see in reality.
So this is what you're currently what we're talking about is not the 1 year witch coven, although it is the 1 year. It's a mini 1 year witch coven. It's
1 week witch.
1 week witch coven. So meaning, what is it? Wednesday to Wednesday.
Wednesday to Wednesday. We start with a path working. We start with opening up the subconscious. We start with community, collective vibration, raising frequency. We start with all of that.
With the process of what it is to even open up to that.
And then during that week, we connect with everybody. We do kind of the intro, how you doing? We do a little tarot card reading. We do what it would feel like to be a part of this collective.
A larger piece for a longer amount of time.
The 1 year witch coven, correct.
So your 1 week, the 1 week that you're proposing on, what did you say, February 18th to February 25th?
Correct.
That would be, if you will, a sampler platter.
Yes, a little tease.
A little appetize me.
Teasies, pleasies.
Yes, of the 1 year witch coven. And having experienced just like the one-off, the path workings that I've been able to be a part of, like the thought of doing that kind of work and allowing that to ring out over a week's time is just like, I'm so excited. Like I can't even, you know what I mean? Like what will become of me? I'm so excited during that week. What will come of that? And to see how that's going to prepare me for the next, asking or offering, so to speak.
Ooh.
I love that.
Yes.
I think it's just,
and if that's too much, because I know this podcast isn't going to be for everybody, especially as we move forward in a space of just, allowing, giving permission to the words to flow. I give permission to.
Yeah.
I know it's not going to be for everybody, and I am learning to be okay with that.
I love that.
I am learning to be okay with that, because rejection equals you're on the right path somewhere.
This girl is on fire.
Fire horse coming in. Yes. Anyway, what I wanted to say was if the 1 year witch coven or if it's not resonating with you, we're still going to be doing full moon Zoom booms. So I wanted to push that as well. Those are the one-offs. Those are the ones that you and I first started doing path where you got a little intro, if you will. So Wednesday, February 4th, we're going to be doing a full moon Zoom boom.
Okay.
Or I should say a new moon Zoom boom.
Okay.
For the
which?
What is that? February 4th.
Cancer.
February 4th for the full moon in Leo.
Leo.
Yes.
Okay.
Full moon Zoom boom, February 4th, full moon in Leo. Which is all about showing up.
So a one day path working, kind of on the heels of this kind of concept.
Correct.
And then
What is path working?
And then 2 weeks later, the 1 week witch coven comes in.
Starts the day after the new moon of Aquarius, which Aquarius is all about connecting, bringing the message, bringing the word, and creating community to move forward.
This cannot be more perfect.
I know.
Look at us all working with the moon.
A rad way. And going against the grain and being rebellious and going against the status quo. Like the Aquarius is known for their quirkiness and their amazing ability to push against the grain and get things done.
So dear listener, if you're still here after this hour-long stream of consciousness podcast episode, if you are still here, you belong in that collective. You belong here. And the question is which one are you going to try next? Are you curious about just even seeing what pathworking is about and all of that stuff? Then February 4th is your day. If you're ready for something more, a little bit more, and you really, really are curious about what this kind of transformation can look like in your life, then you might find yourself signing up for that one on the 18th, where you're going to spend a week, really being intentional about what this transformation looks like for you. And then of course, come April, when or is it March?
It's April.
April, when we launch the 1 year witch coven. Like, who's being called to that? So this is your call to action, people, to see what fits right now for you. Is it path working? Is it a 1 week? Is it 1 year? Is it all three?
Because something could fit.
Something will fit.
Something does fit, some way, shape, or form. So if you're being called to fit in somewhere, find your fit.
Here it is.
Legit. Too legit to quit.
I wanted to do the little hammer thing to the side.
Oh. So on that note, we're going to be dancing out to the hammer time. Ladies and gentlemen, sisters and misters, I appreciate the space to be vulnerable, to be real, to share, to be supported, to be reflected. Thank you, Ace, for all of the reflection. Give it up for Ace. Yay.
Thank you for coming into my house and lighting it up with rainbows. Literally, if you
Thank
look behind
you.
you, there are rainbows.
Maybe I should do that more often.
Yeah, you can live here a little bit.
I mean, I'm made of rainbows. Might as well share a couple. Why not? Pew, pew, pew. So thank you so much. I look forward to all of the things that we are doing to connect. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Me too.
It's not just about podcasts. It's not just about working with the moon. It's about working with people. It's about working with yourself and remembering yourself and coming home to yourself and being aware of patterns and reprogramming and realigning and being held and seen while you do it.
Yep.
That can change. And every little coven everywhere, all moving towards the same feel, is what's going to create change and genuine intentional change at that.
I love it.
Girl. So thanks for being a part of that movement.
Yeah.
Hopefully we will talk to all of you soon. We look forward to the next moon. Should we seal our intention again?
Let's do it,
Ace?
and let's also ask for any feedback.
Oh, yeah.
You guys, we'd love to hear you guys' comments and what have you.
I love that.
So that we can get more feedback, because part of where this even episode was because people reached out. And people shared their.
And I'm so grateful
Me
for
too.
that opportunity to view a potential trigger and move forward and still stand in the power of truth and authenticity and vulnerability.
What a sacred place.
Sacred indeed.
Let's seal. Shall we?
Reach out. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the subscribes. Let's do some messages. Get a hold of us. And we will see you next time, sisters, misters, witches, and wizards.